Welcome back. You're listening to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 KKNW.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan. Our first guest today is Kathy Lewis of Healing Tree. Kathy is the owner and principal therapist of the Healing Tree, the Center for Energy Therapy and Bodywork. Welcome to the show, Kathy.
Dan?
What was that?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
We didn't have the
Yeah,
mic on.
mic
Get it
on.
right in there.
We're all good. All right, so welcome to the show. Before we get into the stuff on gemstones today, tell us a bit about your hobbies and interests when you're not working.
When I'm always working. I'm pretty much a Northwesty girl. I like all the outdoor stuff, the hiking and the camping and all that good stuff.
This looks like it could be a good weekend for hiking, I heard.
Could be.
Did we hear a different news report?
Yeah, it said it's
I
supposed
think
to be
the
nice.
rain is on its way back.
Oh, that's always good.
That's true.
That's what
we
I
just
meant.
put on a rain slicker
Keeps
and
you
keep
cool.
on going.
Keeps you cool while you're hiking. Maybe we heard the wrong wrong report.
thought it would be
Somebody
nice.
told me it was supposed to be nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I hope so.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Get out and do some hiking.
So we like to ask each guest to share with us a fond memory of the home you grew up in. What do you got?
Well, we used to have a walk-in attic, and my mom marched us all down to the book depository, and she turned it into our in-home library.
Cool.
So that was really cool. I have very fond memories of afternoons spent reading books in the attic.
Books in the attic.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool. So where did you grow up?
That particular house was in Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
So it could be hot reading books in the attic in the summertime.
And humid.
Yeah.
Somehow that escapes my memory.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We forget.
That's awesome. All right. So let's jump into what it is you do for folks out there. You're the principal therapist of Healing Treatments, which offers several forms of body works and energy therapy. One specific energy therapy is called gem therapy. So what is gem therapy?
Gemstone Therapy is exactly what it says. It is using various earth stones and gemstones to help people heal. Help people heal at the physical level, at emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Pretty much, it works within the human energy field, so anything's possible.
So what got you started down that journey of gem therapy?
Well, like many other major decisions in my life, it just kind of showed up. A good friend of mine says, I think we should take this class. I said, okay. And it pretty much blew me away how effective it is, how having been a therapist for many, many years and seeing so many issues that are so difficult to address, this just swept in, and I'd never seen anything so effective in my entire career.
So when was that?
So-
When did you take that class?
That was about 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
And I've been a therapist for over 22 years. So seeing something that just blew the competition away, you have to go with what works.
So tell me how that helps. A little more detail in why that blows you away.
Well, for myself, I've been a massage therapist, I've been a cranial sacral therapist, and I've seen people come in with physical issues, but clearly there were other components. There were emotional things going on. There were life issues. And we could get to a certain point in healing, would work for a little while, but then all the other issues would kind of take over and people would be back where they started. With this therapy, you can address all of those things and truly help people really heal, really move forward, really change their lives. And to me, that's what we're looking for.
So what kind of, now I said gem therapy, but you said gemstone. So is there a difference between the two?
Well, there are many different kinds.
Okay.
People hear gems and they think, big sparkly sapphires
Diamonds
and
and- yeah,
rubies.
yeah.
But there is a very wide variety of stones that are used. Each one has different properties, different capabilities, different ways that it's appropriately used for healing.
So am I correct when I say that from your experience, you've done physical massage, cranial sacral,
Right.
And then adding Gemstone Therapy in addition to those, or is it separate of those?
Well, I will very often combine craniosacral therapy and the gemstone therapy. I specifically tailor it to what a person's needs are. Every session is different. Every client is different. And I tailor it to the best of my ability to serve them.
And then do you have an actual story of success that you can share with us on the radio today?
I have so many stories of success, but I'll tell you one of my own, since client confidentially, other things. I hurt my wrist earlier this year. I took quite a spill out on Mount Rainier. Pretty much that's what ended my massage career. Was having terrible pain. Went to the orthopedic guy, wore a splint on it, did everything that would have been the usual course
Traditional
of healing.
Yeah.
And basically, the doctor told me after a while, he says, pretty much, it is what it is. You're just going to have to learn to live with it. And that really wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
So using the gem therapy, the appropriate uses for that, my wrist is 100% today.
Oh, wow. So what other issues can gem therapy address?
All sorts of physical, emotional, mental. One that really stands out, especially here we are such a very high stress area, is there's a lot of burnout. And there's no traditional effective method for treating burnout. They don't really understand it at a physical level, but at an energetic level, there's a degradation and a breakdown of a lot of the body's energetic structures. That's why taking a vacation, getting, your weekend rest, good food, exercise, all those things that we think are going to bring us back, with burnout, we're seeing it's not working. And there is a very clear and direct path of treatment using the gemstones. And I've seen that work very, very well with numerous cases. So I'm very excited about that.
And I would say just about everybody experiences some level of burnout, like where it's just like, man, I'm just going through the motions. I'm just not feeling it, right, quote unquote. And to use all methods available in order to rejuvenate somebody, I think that's a great opportunity. So what can someone expect during a typical session?
It is a very enjoyable experience. You come in, you lay down on my table. We put a blanket or a sheet over you, wearing comfortable clothing, and I apply the gems. They can be applied in many different ways. I have sprays, I have necklaces, I have single spheres, I have mandalas. I have all different ways of delivering the goods. You can come in for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours if you like, and we'll address your issues and get you feeling better.
All right. And then how frequent should that be?
Well, everybody is different. When somebody is having very acute or serious issues, I certainly recommend that they come in more often, possibly a couple times a week, depending upon the severity. And as somebody improves and gets better, then we space it out until you would reach a point where you would come in just for maintenance or not at all. There is a certain integration time. You don't want to come in too close together that your body hasn't fully integrated the work, but you don't want to space it out so far that you backslide, that the body backslides. So we find a sweet spot, get you in there just as much as needed.
So this might seem like kind of an obvious question, but how do you know it's working? I mean, your wrist is a good example. You knew it doesn't hurt anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of really interesting when there's physical pain involved. Well, physical pain and function, all of that comes back. With the life issues, with the emotional things, I find there's a beauty to the subtlety of it because it just kind of very gently and gracefully resolves itself. I had somebody come in yesterday who had been in for the same issue 3 sessions, the same issue. And she came in yesterday. She said, I can't even remember what I came in for before.
Wow.
She said, and I remembered, but I wasn't going to tell her. I didn't need to remind her. But she had something new that she wanted to work on, and so we did that. But it's just a very graceful resolution very often.
I've always kind of thought, from a standpoint of our mental energies, right? And we were talking about burnout. And because our pace is so fast, because these phones, right, that have constant stuff just flying in your face, pushing notifications. I don't know how many notifications might be on this since we've been on the radio, right? That our brain is so powerful that we don't bring it to bear on the problems that we have to solve. So you combine that with the Gemstone Therapy. Whenever I've injured my leg or torn ligaments, I've always gone to bed picturing a crew kind of fixing and stitching it up, using that mental energy to kind of help heal. And I felt like it healed faster as a result because there is that presence of the two. So I'm a big, firm believer of using the power of what's going on to affect our wellness. And I think it's getting more and more difficult to find that space in our lives to remove. So if it means, paying Kathy to come and sit on our table so that we can be present and focus on it and then leverage the gemstones, I think that's really fantastic. So where can somebody learn more about this?
You can visit me at my website. It's healingtreepnw.com, or you can give me a call at 425-786-7482, and we can have a conversation and get you feeling better soon.
Awesome. All right. Well, Kathy, thank you for coming in today. We really appreciate the conversation. Do you have any special offers available to any of our listeners?
Well, if you mention this radio show, I will offer $10 off the first session.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Very generous. All right. After the break, we will have Michael Santiago with Nerds to Go talking about his holiday goose.
All right.